concept of security has changed with time in order to include problems that develop with the ages. However, the definition of security is highly contested because theorists hold firm with their beliefs. Walt believes security is defined by threat use and control of force, and we are innately anarchic. Constructivists say security can be structured, and anarchy is what states make of it. Many say there is no right answer because it is a theory which can't be contested. What this debate boils down to is where do we draw the line and who gets to determine what security is? Who is to tell the family who lost everything to a storm that they shouldn't worry about their security? What about the Californian commuting to work every day, breathing in smoke from the wilting trees and the wildfire?
We have tried unsuccessfully to come up here for the last 3 days, and we have been told nothing.
A frustrating start to the morning for several homeowners anxious to check on their properties but not allowed back in.
Unfortunately, we can't let anyone up yet.
Police blocked off the entrance to Santiago Estates in Sylmar. Fire officials say crews were still doing damage assessment and handling spot fires. Neighbors expecting to return after being forced out by the creek fire found themselves waiting around for hours.
I'm mad. I just want to get home. I'm sick of being in a hotel.
This is why I find the theory of human security to be the theory closest to accounting for the varying security threats during these contemporary times. Hurricane Irma affected at least 9 U.S. states. It turned streets into rivers, left many without power for days, even months. It devastated the Caribbean. This is the only storm ever recorded to have maintained winds of 185 miles per hour for as long as it did. It prompted the largest evacuation in the history of the Bahamas and potentially in the U.S. as well. People are still feeling the effects of Irma. Trees uprooted, houses washed away. There were reported 5 storm-related deaths in the U.S. Does the government and do theorists not consider it a legitimate threat because the death toll wasn't like that of war casualties?
In our country, lots of very positive things, but we have some things that we have to talk about.
Who is to compare someone's losses to another? Our president's administration has reversed more than 50 environmental rules, according to the New York Times. Trump overturned a rule for the inclusion of greenhouse gas emissions in environmental reviews, as well as anti-dumping rule for coal companies. These are environmental decisions that will have significant impact on humanity in shorter time than we think. The inevitable competition for resources, oil, clean water, and other food has the potential to turn to armed conflict, which is what many theorists consider the whole point of security. So we now have the power to speak up, tell the people who make the decisions and set the priorities, and tell them to change. Give the people who are hurt and insecure the extra care and attention they need. To tell them that their human insecurities are a major factor in determining the security of this country. Just as many women step forward and voice to the world the accounts of sexual harassment and abuse, some in public positions and some just like you and I. They represent the people who are insecure. Their war is not one of guns and militaries. Their war is of silence pain, harassment, and superiors abusing their power. But their voices, now strengthened by numbers, have resulted in change. I think the most relative security issues are encompassed by this theory of human security. It's only fair to accept that in these contemporary times, there is more to security than wars and guns. There are guns that are fired by non-military personnel into unsuspecting concert crowds. There are people without homes because of storms. And there are people living in fear of their coworkers. These are the everyday security issues that affect so many and need to be legitimized, and can be done only by being on a theory's agenda.